So today we're going to be unpacking this, the emergence of Tagwirei, the Tungwarara's, remarks, and the broader succession, dynamics in Zimbabwe. Because you, as diasporans, you're not just spectators, but you're an important voice. You are citizens with an important voice that sits right in the middle of the Zimbabwe's unfolding story. And when I said I wanted to speak to the young people, I am doing so because they represent the generation that should be in a position to refuse to accept that politics is just politics or it's just something that just happens. But speak to a generation that is capable of analyzing, challenging, and refusing to be intimidated by what we are seeing right now. A choreography of power packaged as a succession battle within the political party called Zanu. So this really is about your future as young people. I think most of you guys, whenever the AMA 2K, you've grown up in a environment, in a generation where the political decisions are being made on your behalf by other people who believe that they have this wisdom that they should continue to be impacting on you without you being involved in whatever it is that is taking place in Zimbabwe. But one thing that I know is young people can imagine differently. They can be in a position to chart a course that can determine their destiny. We have seen that the world over. I said I wanted to speak to women in these spaces here. We've got sisters, we've got mothers, we've got grandmothers. Some of them, they just come in and listen. Sometimes you see the conversation being male dominated, but they will be there listening. Do you know why sometimes they just do that? Because they are the people that carry the weight of political instability in ways that are that if that are not always known to mankind. One thing that I give to women is they can be better organizers. And during times of trouble, they're caregivers. During times when noise is being made, they can be quiet strategists and they can be outspoken truth tellers. They don't hide it. When they're fed up, they don't hide it. So when you're looking at this battle of succession politics in Zimbabwe, when it gets heated or when it intensifies, you find that it is the women that hold it together, that stabilize the communities, that absorb, the shocks. So they deserve a place. They deserve a recognition. Because there's no way that we can understand this without viewing it from the lenses of the women. Because they recognize and understand how deeply issues of governance affect everyday life. So it is important that in this situation that we are finding ourselves in, we get women to be participants. The activists, we have seen what you do. The civil society, we have seen what you do. You are all organizers, you're researchers, you're advocates, you're community builders. And especially in Zimbabwe, you've operated in a landscape where the truth is contested, where accountability is resisted, and where speaking up comes with a cost. But despite all those things, you remain true and shaken because you believe that accountability is a public issue. And when you see the rise of certain actors, and when you see the tone that is being used by these certain actors, and you're seeing the shifting alliances that is happening in Zimbabwe, they are not an isolated incidents. They are not an isolated event. Because these things that are happening, ladies and gentlemen, they shape the realities of the institutions that we have in Zimbabwe. They shape the realities of our lived day experiences. So your role is critical. So you are the people that bring, because politicians sometimes, they are liars. You can never depend on a politician. But we want people that bring in the moral clarity and refuse to be normalizing things, that are stupid. So you've got a role to play. Everybody has got a role to play in this. This is not just, succession battles in Zanu PF, but they signal, quite a lot. My community leaders, Wanasabuk Dobs. You have a kind of authority that you carry, that you come with. This does not come from a political office, but from the trust that is placed on you by our people. And during times of a shift in the political winds, like, these succession debates, that we are talking about, as they intensify, as we witness alliances that are moving in the shadows, you are the people that the community look up to for wisdom. So you should never be excluded from this conversation because you are an important constituent in this conversation. Those who are in business or those that think about doing business, you know what a political uncertainty can do. It is not just a headline, but it comes with a cost. It affects investment, your investment decision. It makes you calculate, this risk in some type of way. In Zimbabwe, we're a country that's been, characterized with current, instability issues. And we know that, when the confidence of the markets tanks, all is not well. So when you're seeing a situation where this succession politics is threatening a volatile environment, to unleash a volatile environment, and is threatening to make the economy feel intimidated, you know that you have to have a stake in this. You have to have an interest in this. So when you look at the rise of Tagwirei, the Tungwarara's remarks, and the shifting dynamics within Zanu PF, and this succession politics battle, You have to view that from the lenses of economic stability and and institutional stability. That is why you become, important, because your insights are important as business people, because you are sitting right there at the intersection. And this is the intersection of policy and livelihoods. So being part and parcel of this conversation that is currently going on in Zanu PF is quite important. You have to be involved. And church leaders, finally, the church leaders, you can never be removed, from this, equation. You can never, because you are the glue that holds it together during political uncertainty. You saw what the church did during the Asanda Sana moment of Mugabe. You see the role that the church, played. Because during times of uncertainty, people tend to turn to the church for grounding. Because with the church, there is moral clarity that you get. There is reassurances that you get. There is a reminder that you are given that dignity and justice are not just political luxuries, ladies and gentlemen, but spiritual imperatives. So it is important that when you get to have such a conversation like this, the voices of the church and the faith-based community leaders should never be taken for granted. Should never be taken for granted. So I don't know what you can make out of what is happening in Zimbabwe. I don't know how you are reading what is happening in Zimbabwe. What I intend to do today is not to amplify these factional, narratives, but I'm here to examine what is happening in ZANU PF mean for our government or our governance for the stability of the nation and the lives of the everyday lives of you and I as a citizen. Because that is quite important, to be looking at, to be considering, and we need to begin to be asking these questions. Kuti, how should we be interpreting what Tungwarara is saying, right now, in the broader context of the succession politics, in ZANU PF? And do these developments, as things are happening, developing, where are they taking us? Are we about to see another competition involving centers of influence in ZANU PF? Are we about to see a rejuvenation of this political party once again? Because as it is, right now, I can see a situation whereby all is not well. Are we about to revisit that time where the citizens got to be involved for the purposes of aiding the rejuvenation of this political party?